Saints interim head coach Darren Rizzi went limp and half my body in scary postgame celebration. This is from the Pat McAfee Show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it at the end of the Saints-Falcons game, there was a bit of a commotion going on the sidelines. Darren Rizzi was celebrating. Next thing you know, he is absolutely out. He's absolutely just can't move, can't do anything. I thought he tore his ACL. I thought it was one of those typical, think about it. How many times have we seen where a coach or a player is jumping around, getting fired up out of nowhere, they plant wrong, knee blows out. It is what it is. So we stuck around post-game. I stuck around to see what was going on. He started walking, moving on his own. Turns out what happened was he had been chewing out Payton Turner for celebrating like 30 seconds before the game was over. Once they finally won, Payton Turner came back and gave him a little something, like a little friendly action. Well, Payton Turner is a NFL football player. Darren Rizzi is not. So he hit him. Apparently, Rizzi has a history of stingers, and Rizzi just went numb, just like kind of a funny bone situation. So that's what took place, as far as I heard it, after the game.
At the end of the game, D-But's got a question.
Hey, Coach Rizzi, you're pretty jacked up after your first win, rightfully so. We saw on the cameras, you got a little banged up here. So what are you on the injury report, off the injury report? Will you be joining the activation periods going forward? Maybe get a little lathered up?
There you go.
How you feeling going forward?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm definitely limited for sure. There's no doubt. I'm not full go. No, man, listen, those guys were fired up at the end. And I think you guys probably heard the story. Chase gets his sack there to sack fumble and they lose a bunch of yards. And Payton Turner started spraying his water bottle. I'm like, man, the game's not over. I'm like, stay locked in, 30 more seconds. We got a couple more plays here. And I'm ripping his ass. So when the game is over, here's his chance. He's going to come right back at me. And the guys got fired up. And then when I wasn't looking, he got me. And man, my entire left arm went completely numb. It was like it felt like an elephant trunk. I was like, are you kidding me? So then I'm leaning on Payton and he's like, look at me. He's like, Coach, you all right? He's like, he thought I was having a heart attack or something.
This is on you.
I'm fine. I'm like, you just completely, I got a stinger down my left arm. He's like,
I always think about this because, I'm sure you've been there, I've been there, where you do something stupid. Like you bend over to pick something up. I've picked up, I was playing golf with my normal foursome and I picked up a golf ball out of the sand trap and I thought I was shot. It was a blinding flash of light. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel anything. I thought it was all over with. And I had pulled I had like a psoas issue, pulled like my hips, all of that. And I'm like frozen in the sand trap. I could barely walk back to the cart. I had to say, hey, I can't play the rest of the day. I was out for like 2 weeks. That was in front of 3 people. I can't even imagine whenever these guys have those situations and they're in the middle of the Superdome. Like they're surrounded by 70,000 people. There's cameras everywhere. There are players everywhere. At the end of the game, everyone's pushing and rushing to the center of the field. Rizzi is expected to get over there and, do the congratulatory handshake or whatever with the opposing coach and players. And, what a whirlwind that must be. I've seen people celebrate, with video games. They beat a level or do something in a video game. They jump up, get fired up. Next thing you know, they pull their MCL or something. But that's just a couple of guys watching the Royal Rumble, but it's not in the middle of a NFL football game.
Coach, I'm sorry. I'm like, nah, we won. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. Oh, good. Take one for the team. And, but yeah, so that's what happened. So I look like a complete nonner at the end of the game for sure.
It's gonna be,
I got a couple good shots in there and then all of a sudden he buckled me, but it's like the old,
right there.
From behind. Snipe.
Hey.
Yeah, look at it. Look at that. When we were watching this, we thought this guy's out. This guy is done. What? Look at him.
Snipe.
He turns. Look at his leg completely just quit on him. See ya. Everyone's looking around like, hey man, is this over with? What a story for Rizzi. if he would have tore his ACL, comes out coaching in a wheelchair. I mean, you can't write this kind of stuff.
Hey, never went down,
I mean, damn, Rizzy. Good Lord.
Paralyzed. Live you learn, baby.
Hey, we win. We just won a game, baby. We just won a game, baby. Got to enjoy the hell out of that.
If I had to sign up for it, ahead of time, I would do it all over again.
Hey,
I'll take the hit.
Okay. So that's after the game. Let's go to before the game. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. I think everyone appreciated how you made no bones about it. It's like, listen, I got to the stadium. I've never used the coach's locker room before. I take a shit and I clog the toilet. So you can imagine how I think the day is going to go after that. So this is a two-part question. I mean, we're talking the Superdome here. Those are industrial pipes. What did you eat the night before that made you clog the toilet? And have you considered now going forward, you don't have a choice.
Have to.
You got to take massive nukes before the game and clog the toilet every single week.
I mean, if there was a coach ever made for the Pat McAfee show, it's Darren Rizzi right here. I mean, this is just unbelievable what the Saints have been, what we are now. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were 2-0. We were talking about the Super Bowl. We were talking about Clint Kubiak's innovation. We were breaking down analytics. We were looking at DVOA. And what has happened now? We're talking about Darren Rizzi clogging up the toilets in the coach's office. I mean, that's where we are now.
Oh man! So here I am, and I'm in there, but I'm obviously by myself, right? So I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is really happening right now." So I got up and I'm like, you know what? If we win this game, I'm telling everyone this story because you know what? There's not a person out there that hasn't done that before, right? Everyone can relate. Come on now.
Ty did it
right?
here.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. But it wasn't. It wasn't even that. It's just like the toilet wasn't going down. I was like, are you serious? This is really how my day's going to. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm like, I got to share this. And if we lost, no one would have ever known.
Now you bury it down deep, deep, deep. Bury it forever.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna share this with everybody. No, I didn't get the plunger, Pat. Come on. I
didn't know. I didn't know what happened. Did you rolled up? You rolled up.
Put your arm in there.
Did you?
Like JJ?
Well, and I mean, you would think my brother was a plumber. My brother was a plumber, so you would think I could be able to take care of myself. But no, here I am.
Mario,
I'm a coach. I'm not.
Rizzy, I love everything about that. Just the thought of that. I mean, that is wonderful. What a memorable first win.
Yeah, no kidding.
First of many.
I mean, what a day. Like, you think about Rizzi's day. I mean, the way it started, you're coaching your first game, all that transpires. You know, you're cold sweating. Goosebumps, horrible situation. You get onto the field, crazy game, tight game, close, division rival, Superdome's rocking, you get the win. Next thing you know, you're paralyzed. Next thing you know, you think you're having a stroke or a seizure or something. You get hit, get a stinger. Not awesome, not a fun feeling. Can't feel half your body. I mean, insane whirlwind roller coaster of a life.
Yeah.
First of many. Go ahead, AJ.
Gosh, I mean, it's tough coming back from that. You might have to start every game like that. That's the crazy thing about it, Ty. I didn't think about that now, though. You know,
not a bad idea.
People get superstitious. I know it's a baseball thing more than football. Bro, that video is scary of his lower body going limp.
Terrifying. I mean, absolutely terrifying. Like, again, it's crazy to think. Like, I know sometimes I think about, like, I don't know if y'all have ever woken up or done something, like, in your sleep. And like twist your neck or turn the wrong way or whatever. Like I not too long ago, I pinched like a nerve in my trap, and it was from sleeping. I had slept wrong, and when I woke up, I turned real quick, and it locked up on me, and it was devastating. I mean, I could barely drive. I could barely turn my head. I had to turn like this, and the first thing I thought of was, what the hell would I do? Or what would someone do if that was like Patrick Mahomes? Like if Patrick Mahomes the morning of the Super Bowl wakes up and he's like, hey guys, bad news, I can't turn my head. Like I'm sure the answer is, well, they would just shoot him up or they would give him whatever, they give him this and this. But even then, you're the Super Bowl and you've got a compromised Patrick Mahomes with his trap shot up, like you never hear that happening to players. I don't know if it's because they're just different, well-tuned fast twitch muscles or whatever, but it's crazy. Those kind of injuries don't happen more. I can't remember who it was. It was Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics, but he cut his hand because he was moving his flower pot and the pot broke and just like sliced his hand. He had to have stitches. Like those kind of real life things you never hear about. Not that this is really a real life thing. I mean, he, Darren Rizzi got blindsided by by an NFL defensive lineman, so it's not exactly a real life thing, but still, it's crazy to see it play out to where, yeah, I mean, his body was lifeless. It was terrifying.
Like he's holding himself up.
Yeah.
Watching that again, that scared me.
He said his entire thing just went limp.
His legs too. You could see his legs went limp. I mean, he's holding on to Payton Turner. He is when he's leaning forward, you can see his leg go numb. Just combined limp and numb there. Go numb, and he's holding on to Payton Turner, and his legs are just dragging like a. I mean, he had to have absolutely no feeling at all in those legs.
Well, like he's holding himself up on a way like that. Oh, you know how bad it hurts getting pushed in the back when you don't know it's coming.
Oh.
Whip right here,
like right here, he's holding he's holding himself up. Look at that forward lean. Looks like Michael Jackson on the stage. Look at the forward lean there. If Payton Turner's not there, he's going down. I mean, I can tell you this look, like when they're locked in eye-to-eye contact right there, I can guarantee you the look that Rizzi has given Turner is nothing but pure fear, pure just terror back at him.
Oh, you having a heart attack, Coach?
Yeah,
for real,
dude.
Jesus.
Oh no,
Maybe he's just trying to drive him. Maybe he was just trying to drive.
It's a crazy time for the New Orleans Saints, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that. It is a crazy time to be covering this franchise. Good Lord. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about any of that. Rizzi's day at the office, it's like the comedy of errors, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, we got the win. We're on to Superdome again against the Cleveland Browns. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.